Hello, my friends. John LaRuffa here with another Unbiased unboxing. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at several things. They all, though, have to do with this bad boy, High Frontier for All. So we're going to look at the base game as well as Module 1 and Module 2. Let's see what's inside all these out-of-this-world boxes. As always, everybody, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already so that I can gain a little bit bigger fan base and get these videos out to more folks. All right, so we're going to put these two aside just for a second as we break open this big guy. Obviously, they feature the mainstay of this game's artwork right there on the map. Not a surprise there at all. Interesting, they have a scan for a teach and playthrough video. You can bet you I'm going to be scanning for that. I read the rules previous to this, and if anybody is watching this, you're probably familiar with the challenge that is reading Philip Elkland's rule books. They're just tough, right? There's a lot to absorb. So I read it, and I also need to watch something to kind of really help me figure this out. I do like the box art too. That is really cool. Not only you see like a space probe and such, but you can see that there's kind of like a civilization already built on this asteroid, which is really sweet. Okay, so inside the box, nothing special there from an insert standpoint or anything like that. We have these water cubes. I hope these aren't going to be too tough to pick up. Let's find out. I mean, I like them. I like the fact that they're little aqua cubes. Let's see, can we get those up? Yeah, they're all right. They're okay to pick up. They'll look good on the board, I'm sure, but that's always one thing that's tough about little cubes like this. They may be a little bit, they're not cubes, they're little droplets like this. Might be tough to pick up. We've got a single die here, making some random choices and doing a bunch of other stuff that aren't so random choices, but rolling for breakdowns and modifiers and other issues. Sack of bags, which I appreciate. Got those. We've got some spaceships, these plastic ships here. Let's use the mint green to show off what we've got. So that's a high quality little model. All right, pretty cool. You got some boosters, radiator maybe over there. Whoops. Kind of radiators in the back. So very cool. So you get a bunch of those for the 5 player colors. We've got a bunch of little discs. These are your plastic, very standard, like tiddlywink discs. Okay. Some more bags. All right, now we have wooden, kind of like half spheres or so, to put down on as not as a claim, but as a actual factory or colonization. And then some wooden cubes, plus a little gold star, probably for the round marker. And all those are in player color. All right. Then we've got these massive tomes. Gosh. I mean, if you're going into this without ever knowing about this, I hope you did a little research, because I fully understand what I'm getting into. I mean, the player aid, this is going to be essential. Thank God there is one. But just look at this. I mean, you know, this is your player aid here. Okay. So that's awesome that they have one. But that's 6 full pages chock full of how to do it, right? I mean, again, I love the fact they have player aids. It's really, really important in games like this. They give you 2 of them. But, whew, you know, not for the faint of heart. Okay, and then we have the core rules, which are absolutely hefty, okay, folks? I mean, you're talking fine print and a lot of it. Now, the good news about this is that I found there was a lot of examples, which I did appreciate. One of the things that's tough in some of the other Elkland games that I've played, you know, based on the rule book and the way it's laid out and the size of it, not as many examples. This one was chock full of examples, which is outstanding. But you know, you're in for a heck of a several hour read here, unless you just really can absorb pretty fast. So 54 pages worth of core rules. All right, then we've got this Race for Glory, and I believe this is kind of the introductory of how to kind of play and different things. Now, I haven't read this yet, so I'm not sure. Looks like a tutorial in here, which I'm going to need and I'm going to appreciate. Setup. So hopefully this will just kind of help you, you know, get to know this game in full. Kind of teach you the whole thing, which would be awesome. All right, so we got that. We've got a big appendix here. Holy cow. Holy cow. This is quite the appendix. So it tells you about all the different types of cards, their basis in reality, I'm guessing. And just, obviously, if you want to, you know, get some really, really interesting theme content out of this, this game has it in spades for sure. Space Diamonds. So maybe that one that Race for Glory was more of like a final scenario to help with learning, because this one obviously says read me first. So hopefully this will help. Yeah, don't panic. No kidding. So they give you some ideas of how to learn the game. That's cool. I'm gonna need it. I really want to learn this game. I really want to enjoy this game. And I want it to be one that I play often. So I'm going to take the extra time with this. So that kind of, maybe it's just a little overview. Space Diamonds, I think, would be the introductory game, which will teach you just some of the mechanics I've heard, not all of them. Which is fine, because, you know, taking this in steps is better than not really learning it, trying to get through a game once, putting it away, not seeing it forever, and then pulling it out exhausted. Okay, so there's a lot of content in those manuals. Then we've got two big stacks of cards, huge stacks of cards, which I'll get to in just a minute. We've got the different player maps. I'm glad that they did not shrink wrap them, but put them in this sleeve. As it is with anything else, you know, there's no fun in things warping. And when people shrink wrap play mats, sometimes it's like, why did you do that? You're just adding additional stress to the material as it kind of equilibrates from the factory. Okay, so these are obviously very, very, very cool looking. Shows the fuel, a little bit of information about what you need to know. The back is blank, but the thickness is actually a little thicker than your usual printed playmat, so to speak, not the cardboard ones. So as long as these lay flat and stay that way, I'll be very happy. The artwork looks great. They do have a smooth finish, so that's good news. And then we get this little player aid for the Race for Glory here. Player aid for Soul. This is the Soul Political Assembly, so that's not a player aid. I think that's part of the module. Maybe not. That's part of Module 0. Module 0 is in this also. And then this tells you your different years and your soul spots and such. That's for Race for Glory again. So all of those things look very good. Artwork looks great. All right, punch boards and the main board. So we'll do this punch board first. These are the tokens here. They'll most likely be put on the map in random places and other things. Clearly, that must be helping for setup, which is good for randomizers. And then the main event here too, the actual rule book. It sucks, mine has some scuffiness to it on the back, but not rule book, but the game board, a little scuffiness in the back. That's okay. It's matte flat, so that's what's going to happen. But let's just take a look at this bad boy. It's got to be one of the key selling points of this game. It has to be. Anybody who sees this thing and is not impressed, I'll tell you what, I don't know, you look at things differently than I do. But this board is absolutely chock full of goodness. Look at all this. I mean, it's going to be interesting to try to learn, even after reading all of it, what all of these little points are and the way that the whole board comes together. And I'm moving from these spots, so I'm at a Lagrange point, and I got to go through a hazard spot and do the check. There's lots of stuff. Thank God there's a map legend over here, which you can see. I'm hesitant to, I'll pick up the camera though and kind of bring it in a little bit more. But you can see here that there's just plenty of stuff. There's Neptune out there, the Kuiper Belt, Uranus, Jupiter, Saturn, and then you get into the inner side of things, you know, with Mars, etc., Venus, Mercury, Earth. Just really cool. I really, really, really like and I'm excited about the way this board looks. Okay, so those are the contents. Whoops, for the board. Let's go ahead and put this away. So we'll keep on going. All right. And then we'll take a quick look at these cards. I'll talk to you about what they feel like, how thick they are, if they need to be sleeved, in my opinion, or not. Spoiler alert, I sleeve all my cards, so you know I'm going to sleeve them, but not everybody does that. I'll give you an idea if I think it's necessary. Okay, so these cards are actually good thickness. Thank goodness. They're not thin. They are flat, glossy finish, no matte. But I don't think you're going to necessarily need to feel the urge to sleeve if you don't sleeve like I do. So I'm not going to show you every one of them because there's a lot here, but you can see that they're just chock full of good information. Very cool. Obviously, the important stuff's up here. Much of this is flavor, but just awesome. For those who are excited about the content or the actual theme, I mean, this has it in, like I said, in spades. So you've got a lot of different cards here. Oops. Pardon me. But, you know, it's just really cool. You get this is these are the important things in the actual game. And then all this is just done so well with more information on it, what it's doing, how it works. And each of the cards has, you know, a dark side and a light side here. It has to do with how they're sold in the game, I believe. So just really, really cool stuff. So we've got this deck, some crew cards, this little overlay. Some more refineries. These are for Race for Glory specifically. So probably making, you know, sure it keeps out some of the other parts that wouldn't apply to other games. So you've got all those specifically for that scenario itself. All right. And then this deck. Okay, so these more refineries here, reactors, radiators, etc. Very cool. Generators. There's lots of technology that you're going to be using to figure out how to get from here to there. And then you've got some spacecraft here. Put these down. Spacecraft, and then looks like you've got different types of missions. So there's a lot of different rocket missions in here and sail missions. Looks like they're worth points at the end of the game to do those kinds of things, so that's cool. Give you an idea of what you're doing, how to do it, so that'll help probably for people like me who don't know what they're doing. Like, okay, well, let's try to do this mission, and then maybe with that mission I will be able to do this, that, or the other thing. Of course, these ones that be the first to this or that, probably not going to help in the solo game one bit. Maybe the rest of the missions aren't either. And I'm absolutely going to be playing the solo. I can't imagine teaching this game to somebody who already doesn't know it. Maybe I'll find someone who does, and that'll be a different story. But okay, so that was all of the content here in the big box, which also includes the stuff for Module 0. Now let's take a look at the Terawatt and Futures Module 1. All right, so this is interesting how they put this together. It's kind of got a, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know. It's like an inserted box or whatever. You kind of pull it out. So let's take a look at what's this. And I did not order the larger playmat. I figured the board was enough. Frankly, I don't like storing playmats. They're fine, but you know, then you have one more thing to store, which I don't appreciate. All right. Sadly in the back, I don't get to see anything really what's inside. Yeah, it tells me about this, but I always like a little picture or something that kind of shows me what I'm getting, what it looks like. All right, so as I open this up, out it comes. So that's like a sleeve. There we've got another bag, another set of bags, some different wooden star tokens, a couple of these little not planks, but sticks, so to speak, I guess. And then now these are some, looks like these are like higher quality fuel, perhaps, not aqua, but they're the drops. So I'm guessing that would be that higher quality fuel I read about in the rule book. And then, of course, we've got cubes for the different colors. We have more cards. So here we're going to be getting this deck of cards here, which has the same quality and consistency as the other ones, except they're purple. All right, and so they're different thruster cards and different freighter cards, okay? And then, what else do we have besides? We have the module rule book. For an expansion, this is quite hefty. It'll be a little bit before I duck into this one, I'm sure. But, you know, you're looking at, what is this? 40 pages of, you know, highly involved information. Actually, many of this might be, yeah, it looks like a little bit is set up for the appendix. But I like that. Solitaire, yes. Solitaire. All right, cool. So that's going to take some doing for sure. And then we have more player boards or playing boards. I don't know if they're for the players or what, but let's take a look. All right, so if we have 5 of them, yep, 5 of them, definitely for the player board, each player. Same kind of quality, same kind of finish as the other original player boards here. And it looks like we've got freighter information and stuff that'll go with that. So that's cool. So that's what you get in Module 1 here. All right, I'm going to slide this aside. And then Module 2 is colonization. Same type of box for this. Pull out with the sleeve, so to speak. 3-sided sleeve. Okay. And again on the back, this one at least has some artwork, but I guess the other one was just in space, but I really wish I could see what's inside. So a little disappointed by that, but we're gonna stop worrying about that right now by opening it up. All right, now this one has some miniatures. First of all, another rule book here, Module 2, and the same kind of layout. Not as long. Experimental rules. Just what we're looking for. Experimental rules. All right, so that's not as long. Gives us some information in the back. What was that? 26 pages or so. Additional, most likely, player sheets. It looks like here we've got a different fuel set. All right. And yep, there's one per player again. So we look like we've got some different satellites there, different fuels, operations. Very cool. Bag. And then this one has an insert in there because you've got a bunch of little miniatures, which is outstanding. So in that case, this is taped over. Let me slice and dice carefully. Did I say careful? I really did mean it, but there we go. Extract that. All right, so first of all, these are cool looking miniatures a bit fragile. You're going to have to be handling these with kid gloves, okay? I wouldn't want them to snap. But they definitely have a very realistic look to them. That's outstanding. That's one of them right there. I got to be able to remember how to get these back in. So that's one of the models. The other model is this right here. So those do look cool. They'll look great on the board. All right. They're in the 4 different player colors. We get yet another one of these little planks or piece of wood right there. I'm guessing that's for some part of this expansion, which I'll find out. And then a bit of a thicker deck of cards here. Okay, same finish, same feel. And now you've got different colonist light cards here. So you've got purples and blacks. Again, very high quality artwork, very, very immersive and realistic with regards to what you're looking at. No one is going to be disappointed that they cheaped out on any of the artwork or the content. I can guarantee you that. Okay. So you can see exactly what you get in Module 2, and on the back, all that information on these kind of cards also. So, thank you very much for being patient, watching this whole unboxing. I'm John LaRuffa, and I hope that you enjoyed everything you saw here. This is definitely one of the longest unboxing videos I've ever done. Whether you play this game or any other game in the future, I hope you enjoy yourself and have a great time. Thank you again for watching, and everybody take it easy.